Welcome everyone to the official press conference and schedule release of the Heartland Hooparama basketball event, and I'm going to keep doing that as originally it's always been Hooparama when we were planning this thing, but we have an event in Western Kentucky that goes by Hoopalooza, and for some reason that just rolls off the tongue for me in Western Kentucky, but I will get it before the weekend's over, I promise. So no, this is the official schedule release of the Heartland Hooparama. This is the first Heartland Hooparama, but we hope it's the first of many. There's so many people to thank to make this possible. A lot of them are sitting up here with me right now. And my name is Logan Stout. I'm the Director of Development and Broadcasting for Tanager Sports. I look like I'm about 16 years old, but I promise I'm older than that. I have 2 kids to prove it. And no, I am a proud graduate of Murray State University and started working for Tanager Sports in this past August after working at Murray State after I graduated. And this is really one of the first events for me that I can say I have my fingerprints on it a lot more, because there's a lot of us that work at Tanager Sports and we all do different things, we wear different hats, and we all kind of take the lead on certain events, and this is one that I've had the privilege to kind of taking the lead on, filling it out and seeing if we can get it started here in Campbellsville at Taylor County High School. And so far so good. Everybody has been so welcoming, so accommodating, and I'm excited to I have some speakers here today. First, we got a guy who's going to be leaving here in just a second. I think he has some other engagements tonight, as he should, as he is the head basketball coach of Taylor County High School, the boys team, Mays Stallworth, and we'll just have him say a few words just about the excitement of an event like this and getting to play an event like this.
Anytime a showcase event just like this Heartland Hooparama, it comes to a school like Taylor County, the involvement of the community that comes at Taylor County, the support you get is big time. You know, it's something that puts our school on the forefront of where it's supposed to be. You know, that's what we want as a community, as an administration, as its coaching staff. That's what we want going forward for our teams. The games like 22 feet and the games like Hillcrest that has DeAndre Ayton. Anytime guys like that can give exposure to our school, it's big time for our program and big time for our community. And I think our community will invest in something like this each and every year.
And we certainly appreciate Mays' help with this. The coaches at the local school where we do these events, they oftentimes play one of the most important, if not the most important role sometimes when it comes to the day-to-day operations of once the event actually starts, because those coaches a lot of times are safety valves. Whenever something goes wrong or a curveball is thrown, we immediately look at the coaches for guidance and athletic directors, and so we certainly appreciate Mays with his help in the planning of this for sure. Another guy to thank is the guy sitting to my left, Assistant Superintendent Junior Higdon, and I'll kind of turn it over to you for a few comments on the weekend before Heartland Hooparama.
Well, I think I need to thank the athletic director, Jeff Gum. He's helped this organization as well as the principal, Laura Benningfield, and Coach Stallworth and Coach Tim Peterson, our girls basketball coach. Their teams and parents will be done concessions and kind of a fundraiser for them. So that's a benefit to our programs. But I think more than that, it's a benefit to our Central Kentucky. And I'm also a member of the Chamber of Commerce, and I do know that a lot of people will come in and stay in rooms in this area, and a lot of people will buy food in this area, put gas in their vehicles, and it's certainly highlighting Taylor County, which Campbellsville is the center of Kentucky, and I think the name's fitting, Heartland Hooparama. Just want to let everyone know that it's not just a Taylor County event. This is a Central Kentucky event, and we want all basketball fans to come around. And basketball is huge in this area, as Coach Stallworth has got to see by the crowd sizes at all of our games, and hopefully we have a great crowd for this event. I know there's our former coach Gatewood's here, a former player be playing in this, and it's really going to be an exciting time. A lot of dunks for the young kids to see, and so it'll be a good event. And like Mr. Stallworth said, it's a showcase for our school system and a showcase for our entire community.
Absolutely, and again, thank you to Junior Higdon for all of your help as this has gone forward. Another person that I want to say I've called him the champion of this event from day one is the guy to my right. Speaking of Chamber of Commerce, the president of the Chamber of Commerce, Les Chadwick, was one of the first contacts I was introduced to in this area, and he has been just tremendous in helping getting this thing started. So we'll turn it over to him for a few remarks here.
Well, it's been great to get to know Logan and the whole Tanager Sports. I've been very impressed with what they do with the athletes that are coming in. Even before they came to town, I was impressed with what the program stands for, how you teach the students. I don't know if you'll get into that too much here, but how they go into talking to the students about what it's like to be an elite player and the things you have to be careful of and watch out so you don't damage your career in the college level and even going forward. So that was very impressive to me. I think they're turning out some role model kids, not just role model athletes. And so we're very impressed with that. Plus, once we started talking about what it could mean to the town, I was just excited from the very beginning. I knew, like Junior said, I mean, we're going to have people from all over coming to see this, not just the players and potentially the coaches and maybe families, but people that are going to come, the recruiters are going to come watch other players that aren't already committed somewhere. So we understand this is going to be huge for our area, and we want to see it come back year over year. We'd like to I think some of the other places, they actually get involved with having more games throughout the weekend intermixed with these tournaments. So we just can't wait to see what it does for the future. Very proud to have gotten to know you and very proud to have Campbellsville be in such a good spotlight here in this next couple of weeks.
Thank you very much for that. And with that, and Mays, if at any time if you need to dart out, we're not going to think you're being rude at all. You can dart at any time. That's why I put you on the end over there. But no, so with that, I can kind of help people understand a little bit. I think when people see the grind sessions, Heartland Hooparama, and they see the grind session, they see Tanager Sports, there's some confusion involved there because this is where the grind session basketball circuit, we'll kind of dive into what that is just quickly. It's the first ever winter basketball circuit of elite high school basketball showcase events. And the reason why we say it's the first is there are 3 basketball circuits right now that take place only in the summer. There's never been a basketball circuit in the winter. And so that's what the grind session is. We go city to city, state to state every weekend from late November to early March, and we're in a different city every weekend. Case in point, I will fly out tomorrow to Napa Valley, California for our Crush in the Valley basketball event. It's the 2nd year in a row for that. Then we will come to Campbellsville, Kentucky for the for the Heartland Hooparama, and then we will fly to New York, New York for the Gotham City Showcase, the 2nd year of the Gotham City Showcase. So we put a lot of miles on our vehicles. We put a lot of miles in the air, and we're excited to make Campbellsville one of our stops as part of the grind session basketball circuit. Heartland Hooparama in particular is going to be very electric. We are very excited about this. And you know, the original plan when we first started this was for this event to be in the brand new Taylor County High School basketball gym. But we know how construction projects work. We know how they can get off schedule at times. And you know, the more I got to hear about the current Taylor County High School basketball gym, the more I thought, you know what, this is not a bad thing for us to have it the first year in the current gym. And I got to tour that today with Jeff Gum, and man, that place is going to be rocking this week, not this weekend, but the next weekend when Hooparama is going on. We will have literally 3 of the 10 best high school basketball players in the country, according to some scouts, playing at Taylor County High School this weekend. And it is just going to be so much fun. I'm very excited about it. It will start on Friday at 4 p.m. with the #1 player in the country, the consensus overall #1 player in the country, DeAndre Ayton, who has signed with the University of Arizona. He stands 7'1" and shoots the 3 better than, I'd say 90% of guards out there. He is almost automatic when he's left alone from beyond the arc. So you will see Hillcrest Prep led by DeAndre Ayton, and they're loaded with 5 future Division I players, and they're starting 5. They will take on the Rock School from Gainesville, Florida, which is a brand new program to the grind session, but they come in with a record of 21-2 in a very tough schedule that they have played to this point. They are led by Darius Days, one of the top 100 juniors in the country, so he will go against the #1 senior in the country, DeAndre Ayton. Then we'll get to see the local teams. Marion County taking on Taylor County for a homecoming night, and we are going to broadcast those to a national audience on Tanager Sports. So you talked about, Mays talked about having exposure for Taylor County High School. We average anywhere from 1,000 to 3,000 viewers online for our events, and Taylor County, that logo at half court, the signs around the gym will be displayed, and so that is very cool. And our hope is that we have the support of the community on this event, and we get to do it again next year in the new gym, and get to show that off to everybody. So this is an exciting thing, and good exposure for Taylor County and Marion County both to play in this event. Saturday we will have 4 games at 2, 4, 6, and 8. The Tech Academy from Sault Ste. Marie, Canada, will bring an international feel to the game, led by Mature and Makur Maker. Mature Maker, I'll just quickly touch on a couple of these guys. Mature Maker is the brother of the 10th pick in the NBA draft, Thon Maker, who went to the Milwaukee Bucks, and his game resembles Thon's very much so. And the Makur Maker is their cousin, who is a 7-foot freshman. You heard me correctly, a 7-foot-tall freshman who runs the floor very well. They'll take on Victory Rock Prep from Bradenton, Florida. They are led by the VCU commit Mayan Cure, who is one of the top 100 players in the country, and I've seen a lot of basketball. He's the best rebounder I've ever seen in person. I've never seen somebody go get the ball like he does. So for young players, Mace will have his guys taking notes on that. Watch how Mayan Cure goes and rebounds the basketball. It's just fun to watch. We'll see the Rock School again. They'll take on what many believe is the #1 team in the country, Prolific Prep. They're ranked number 5 according to one service out there right now. I believe they are the #1 team in the country, led by the Duke signee. I know a lot of people around here aren't necessarily Duke basketball fans, but you will get to see Gary Trent Jr., the son of Gary Trent Sr., who people know as the Shaq of the Mac, play for Prolific Prep. They have 8 future Division I players on that one roster, so they are stacked to say the least. Aspire Academy will be playing. Their head coach is Jeremy Kipnis, who was the grad assistant was one of the grad assistants for the University of Louisville during their national championship run. Jeremy Kipnis frequently has Rick Pitino at his basketball games just to watch Jeremy coach and support him. And with us being with close proximity to Louisville, I think it's safe to say you can't rule out that Rick Pitino will be in the gym. Rick Pitino and John Calipari, Rick Stansberry, Matt McMahon, a lot of these basketball coaches in the state of Kentucky are frequent visitors to our events, and so we hope to you never know on those guys. Their schedules are so jam-packed, but we've had Mike Krzyzewski and Bill Self and so many great legendary college basketball coaches show up basically unannounced at our events sometimes, and so that's always a fun aspect, is who's going to come, what assistant's going to show up, what head coach is going to show up. Moving through the schedule, 22 Feet Academy and the Conrad Academy will both be in action later on Saturday night. 22 Feet Academy is led by their head coach Richard Gatewood, who is the former head coach here at Taylor County High School, and the Conrad Academy, their point guard is David Sloan, who many people know here as the former point guard of Taylor County High School. On Sunday, we will get people out of here in time for the Super Bowl, which is an important aspect of the schedule change that actually worked out. There was a last-minute schedule change that worked out in favor for everyone. We will be out of here in time to go home and watch the Super Bowl, which is great. But the final game of the weekend, if you want to put a star by it, 22 Feet Academy will take on the Conrad Academy. So you will have former Taylor County head coach coaching against former Taylor County point guard Richard Gatewood versus David Sloan. And we love when matchups like that happen. There's so many different connections and rivalries that show up in prep basketball that you didn't even know existed, and that's one that is just could not have worked out any more perfect for this weekend. Arguably, my favorite part about this whole grind session, exactly what Les told me, what Les was talking about, is that the grind session does seek to improve players both on and off the floor. It is a nonprofit entity, and players are trained in 6 main areas. You can go to thegrindsession.com to see more about that, how players are trained. I'll give you an example. Players are trained, as Les was, I think, alluding to, on brand management. Every star basketball player has a brand, whether they like it or not. They have a brand, and that brand can be ruined with one offensive tweet. If the tweet is offensive enough or vulgar enough, or their Facebook post or their comment to the media is offensive enough or vulgar enough, their whole brand can come crashing down. They could potentially lose a scholarship offer because of that, and you think about how detrimental that is. And so we do things like that. They are trained on managing their brands. They're trained on managing finances if they make it to the NBA, and if they don't make it to the NBA. Things like that, improving players both on and off the floor. It's very exciting. So with that, I'll leave you with one more fact. Heartland Hooparama this year has 12 teams in it, and will have 10 games, 12 teams, and over 40 future Division I basketball players, according to scouting projections and scholarship offers. So this weekend, the weekend that Heartland Hooparama will take place, February 3rd, 4th, and 5th, over 40 future Division I basketball players will play in Taylor County High School. And that is just a really cool thing, because you get to see them as they go on to college, and as some of them make it to the pros, you can say, I remember when that guy played at Taylor County High School. And it's just a very cool thing for the community to kind of hang their hat on and tell stories to their grandkids about and all that stuff. I remember when I saw him play. So it's a very cool thing. If you guys don't have anything else, we have schedules here. We have little packets for local businesses that are interested. That is something that Les and I have worked on, is for the local businesses, you know, for an event like this to be successful. There are a lot of expenses involved when it comes to flying in the teams, renting their vehicles, getting them a place to stay, and getting them fed, and doing all these different things. And so it absolutely takes a community effort to make that happen without us having to break our backs, so to speak, to pull it off financially, that is. So when businesses rally around events like this, that's when they really take off, and businesses say, you know, I want to support this because of the economic impact. The economic impact of Marshall County Hoop Fest in Marshall County, Kentucky was estimated at $1.2 million this past year, and the one in Paducah, Kentucky, McCracken County Mustang Madness, was valued at $800,000. So this is something that the first year, that's not what we're expecting the economic impact to be. It will be a substantial impact, but not that big. But as this grows, this could potentially be something that is a tremendous shot in the arm for the local economy in early February of every year. So that is certainly an added bonus to something like this. If you guys don't have any other comments, I've rambled for a while. If there are any questions, we can take those now from whether it be media members, business owners, school representatives, anything like that. If you have any questions, it can be as simple as who's your favorite player to what, you know, you can ask anything about the grind session, Tanager Sports, or to any of the officials here. It'd be great to take some questions. Or you can make it really easy on us, and we'll just wrap this thing up.
You covered it pretty well.
That good? Good. Well, I will hang around for questions. If you have a question you want to ask kind of off air, off the press conference film there, be glad to do that. Feel free to take a local business small packet there. We have a few of those. If you have local businesses that in mind that you think would be interested in being involved with this, whether it's feeding a team or sponsoring T-shirts or whatever it may be, feel free to grab a packet there. And then we have a stack of schedules here. Take it, make photocopies of it, plaster the city with it, put them in the high school, put them wherever you want, wherever you're allowed to. We would love to see this historic gym at capacity that weekend. That would be fun for everyone. And the players love that kind of stuff. The louder and rowdier it gets, the more their skill sets show. So it'll be a lot of fun. And with that, we'll say the press conference is concluded. And if you have any questions, I'll be hanging around. Thank you so much. Yeah, go ahead.